I'm Judy Wise. I'm nearly 86 years old. I'm a mother, a grandmother and now a great-grandmother, and very thrilled. I was born in Sydney in 1930 and as a little girl we moved a couple of times, and I did all my schooling in Sydney and then worked in the city, of course, and then married a farmer and went 500 miles away from a family and everything else with no conveniences, no electricity, no telephone, 20 miles from town, and I couldn't drive, so it was a bit of a change in my lifestyle. But anyhow, I adapted to it, and I've moved quite a few times through my married life for various reasons, mainly work commitments, and so I've learnt to adapt to wherever I've gone. In this little farm we're in Violet Town in Victoria, we had a leaky rainwater tank, we had batteries that we couldn't replace because we didn't have the money to do that, so we had lamps and what have you, and then we needed some water, so there was spring water on the property, but all the pipes were clogged up with minerals and things. So, and that was when polythene piping first came in. That would have been in 1959 about, I think. And we didn't have the money to buy it, so I just did, not a lot, but I took in some sewing in the town to be able to raise the money to buy the polythene piping so that we had water. It was a big experience. He had a massive heart attack, and I called him up for dinner and he didn't come, and I went down, I found him dead downstairs. Didn't get a chance to say goodbye, but at the time we had a business we were running and I had to just keep going with it. I've had experiences where I have had to climb back up again, but I've been fortunate in being able to do that. And I think it does give you a more positive attitude in life. Well, in 1977, my daughter Sue was chosen by a talent scout to become a contestant in the Miss Australia quest, which was quite a big function in those days. It was to benefit the Spastic Centre, which is now called Cerebral Palsy Alliance, and she was told if she had a photo in a swimming costume, she would be out. It was not a beauty contest, it was purely to raise funds. The girl that became Miss Australia was really highly thought of, and all through the year, you know, you saw photos of her all everywhere. We worked tirelessly, and it was quite a big job because I was going to work at the same time, and Sue was studying at college and she had to do her exams during this period. So, but we had lots of interesting things. Anything anyone suggested to me, I'd try for fundraising. And first was a cake stall. That was the quickest and easiest to set up, to get going, to get it off the mark. Then we had we were in 10-pin bowling. We got a group to go there. We had a breakfast at a club one time. And the main thing we did, or one that was quite interesting, was the girls played football. They had absolutely no idea how to play Aussie rules football. So one of the boyfriends of one of the girls came in to our lounge room and asked them did they know what a football field looked like. They said no. So he drew it out on a piece of paper and the 4 posts and said the aim is to get the ball between those sticks. So we took our little Daxi dog along and put helium balloons on him, and I contacted the radio television station, the sports presenter. He kindly came along as referee, in inverted commas, because he knew about the game, but he dressed up with huge sunglasses and a big wig and everything, and this was all held at half-time of the football match. And while the game was progressing, we went round with a blanket around the perimeter of the grounds and people threw money into it. And one of the mothers dressed up as a nurse and pummeled one of the girls' chests when she pretended to be injured, and it was a really, really big fun day. So we raised quite a lot of money that day too. We raised $8,100, I think it was, in 11 weeks, and that at that time that was quite a lot of money. Not by today's standards, but it was then. You know, until I was made aware of this, I didn't realise that children needed all sorts of bits of equipment to help their everyday life, and the hours that it takes for the parents to be involved to get them in and out of these bits of equipment, but the standing equipment even, to straighten their spine and they help their digestion. It's so many pieces of equipment that they help them walk. It must be just horrendous, really, the costs that are involved to the families. They really wouldn't be able to do it on their own. Most people couldn't. One piece of equipment that I understand that has been invented is eye gaze technology, which is enabling children now to communicate, whereas before they couldn't. And because of that, they can now go to a mainstream school and have the advantage of other playmates and being able to let people know what they're trying to tell them. So, and this has been now, the cost of this has been reduced incredibly because of the extra research that's been done, that funds are needed for. I hadn't stopped to think how long had been supporting it, but it is nearly 40 years, which I suppose is quite a big slice of my life. But I've just been so grateful for the health of my own family that I like to support those that and help other children to reach their potential and go to as far as they can in life. Well, my family have always known that I'm interested in helping others and wanting to improve the lives of others. So, you know, it goes without saying that they'll understand. This is why I have made a bequest in my will to cerebral palsy. You don't need to be rich to leave a bequest. It wouldn't matter how small it was. I think any little bit of money that can go to anything that you feel you want to support is worthwhile. It doesn't have to be a big amount, because all the little bits add up to a big bit. You know, I feel that by donating in my will, eventually pay for research that will eventually find a cause and a cure for cerebral palsy.